pleasant Thursday to you. Welcome to Lone Star Park at Grand Prairie. Another beautiful night for quarter horse and Arabian racing here during the fall meeting of champions. I'm Jim Byers alongside Rodney Nelson. We are here to offer our analysis on tonight's 8-race card. We bookend the program with Arabians first and last. And effective this year, we do not involve Arabians in the Pick 6 or the Super High 5. So we'll point that out as we go along. But we'll start and finish with the beautiful Arabians. And, boy, just another 86-degree sunny night here. Really
yeah,
nice
it looks
night.
like it's going to be this way for a while is what the weather looked like. So,
Yeah.
I mean, this time of year I can handle this weather. You know, upper 80s, humidity's not too bad. It's always nice to be outside this time of year.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm enjoying it because there's been years where it's been cold and rainy
Sure.
already at this
Oh,
point,
yeah.
and sometimes when it's been 110 degrees, it seems like. So
Yeah,
I'm
this-
loving it. The horses seem like they're loving it. The fans are loving it out here. We've had some great weekends so far. Dash for Cash races last Saturday. They were pretty exciting. So another week starts now.
I remember a year, maybe 3-4 years ago, where it was always dry during the week, but several weekends in a row we had rain.
Yes,
Remember that?
I remember that. It was like the first 6 or 8 weeks
Yeah.
of the meet. It was we're all wet.
Yeah,
those
it
first
really
those race
was.
days.
Let's
Not
kick,
today though.
No, I mean, no end really in sight. Let's kick things off with the first race, Arabians, 6 furlongs, maiden $15,000 claimers, no scratches in the opener.
Yeah, you know, there's a standout here. AA Hot Assets, the number 5. You know, this horse in the last 4 races has run second in 3 of those 4 races. So, you know, this horse knows how to be up there toward the front. And if you look, you know, there's not much speed in this race, I don't think. Seems like a lot of horses are going to be back off of it. I think AA Hot Assets is probably going to get out there to a pretty nice lead and hopefully can hang on all the way around. WMA Nash Rambler, the 6, I think this is the only other horse that might be up toward the front, maybe challenging for that lead. But, you know, if you look at WMA Nash Rambler, this horse likes to sit off quite a bit. So, you know, this is the Arabian racing that we love out here. 7-horse field, you know, they're going 6 furlongs, changing it up a little bit during the quarter horses from those straightaways. But I think 5-6 is the way to look at it here. And I know you got that, too, as your second choice.
Yeah, Fergus MHF, number 2, has only been to the races 4 times all this year. You know, he's been 5th twice, 3rd twice as an alternate to AA Hot Assets. I mean, he's faced the favorite a couple of times, including most recently on September 25th. He finished a couple of lengths behind him. He always seems to be just a notch or 2 behind AA Hot Assets when they met head-to-head. I mean, the rest of them are pretty much up against it here if the 5 runs his race. And it kind of looks like, you know, if this guy's going to graduate anytime soon, it's going to be tonight.
But we've seen stranger things happen before. We've seen some of these Arabians pay, you know, $60 to win.
Yeah.
If you were able to beat one of those big favorites, then you know you can cash in.
Yeah, for sure. I'm reluctant, unless you're seeing, you know, Patty's Day or some of those Arabians, to ever say an absolute cinch on those type of races. Remember Patty's Day?
I remember Patty's Day. RB Mary Lila, that's a very solid horse too. She was good out here, and I think she was running in like a 3 million euro race last weekend.
We've seen some great Arabians over the years that have raced over in Dubai and over in Europe and whatnot. Race 2. There is only one horse in this 10-horse field of maiden claimers that has ever been 550. This is an elongated straightaway distance of 550 yards, uses the whole front stretch. It is the start of the Pick 6. Early start to the Pick 6 tonight with the 8-race card. $4,586 in the Pick 6 carryover. And I wrote down that there's a lot of question marks in here, meaning that there's some horses with good form, but there seem to be questions about a lot of them.
Yeah, I agree with you there. You know, like you mentioned a second ago, only one of these horses has been 550 before. Usually I take horses like that. I like horses that have some experience going this far. But that one's the 7 Indian Cartel.
30-1 on the line.
Yeah, I didn't like that last race either. So I tossed the horse, and I ended up going with the inside horse. That's Oak Tree Hero, the number 1 here. 10-1 on the morning line. I see you had the horse pick second, so
Yeah.
I'm not going too far out on a limb with this
No,
one.
I don't think so.
But, last time out, let's back it up a little bit. So we saw this horse in October, right? October 29th was the final race for this horse last year. Didn't get back to the track until September of this year,
Right.
so almost a year off. I love horses that come back after that, second after that layoff. The first one back, tough spot. I mean, this horse was in a
Very
Derby
tough.
trial. Didn't have it that day. Finished 9 of 9, but at least had that experience back. If you looked at last year, like at Will Rogers Downs, you see this horse ran a couple decent races, maiden claiming races for one at 15,000, one at 7,500. So, I mean, the horse is in here today at 5, so not really a big question mark there. We know the horse can compete in those races like last year. We'll see if that second back for Oak Tree Hero doesn't do this horse well. Got the 4, Tighten Up Captain as my second choice. Horse was a runner-up last time out at this $5,000 level, just missing by 3/4 of a length down at the Gillespie County Fairgrounds. And then I got the number 9, Sister Eagle, as my third pick here, coming in here off a runner-up finish.
Yeah, Sister Eagle comes out of a race right at this $5,000 maiden claiming level, and she can compete with this bunch, but, she has been overmatched a bit in her career. But when she's been at this level, she's been okay. Oak Tree Hero, Josue Jacob Garcia's had a really good year. He only had this guy for the trial. Last year he was with a different trainer, and, there was no run out of this horse. But, that Jesse's First Card won that race by 4 lengths and was favored to win the Dash for Cash Futurity or Derby, but ran into all kinds of trouble at the start. I'm going with Tighten Up Captain. I like the idea that this guy might be able to close some ground. He has shown some occasional start issues, but he has also gotten a lot of positive comments in the short comments, like strong finish, game effort, closed fast. Those usually indicate, and he is really stretching out. He has never gone 550, but I think maybe he will today, and he'll be heavily favored to do so. Again, at that level, taking a really short price favorite can be questionable sometimes. Race number 3. Third race, 250 yards. This is a wide open race when the morning line favorite's 3-1, as it is with Good Friday Patrona. You know that this is a wide open one. I see we're both taking a little bit of a shot. These are fillies and mares, non-winners of 2.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised to see we're on the same horse. This number 9.
This
BP
guy's been off.
Been off for 4 years.
Yeah. Who knows where she has been?
Yeah.
Standing in a field, racing in Guatemala.
Being a
Who
horse.
knows?
But BP Queen Wagon, 4 years off. The last time this horse was out here was in 21, November the 20th of 2021, right here at Lone Star Park. Ran in a big race that are bigger for this horse, $20,000 non-winners of 2 race. She's in for $7,500 tonight. But what's keying me in on BP Queen Wagon? Those 2 workouts.
Yeah, exactly.
If you look at those 2 workouts, they just came, a week apart. The one back on the 13th of September, a bullet workout, 1 of 33, 2 of 31 on the 20th of September. This horse has got to be conditioned and ready to go off that layoff. We'll see if BP Queen Wagon can't have a nice run on the comeback trail. Number 3, Good Friday Patrona. That's my second choice. This horse was a 4th place finisher last time out, missed by 3/4 of a length. This horse has had some races that have been fairly up there. He's only hit the board once so far this year, but, has a couple 4th place finishes that weren't too far behind. And then I got number 5, Marie Laveau, as my third choice. I had this horse in my picks last time out, but it was only a 110-yard race.
Yeah. And she had
trouble at the start.
110-yard race.
So I'm going back to that maiden race at 220 at Gillespie. The reason I picked her last time in my top 3. We'll see if Marie Laveau can't get up there and finish in the money once again.
Yeah, a couple of races where she really has fired early. She has proven to have some quickness. She has also had some other issues at the start of some races. But, we have the same top 3, just in a little bit different order. The thing about BP Queen Wagon, the 9, she's been away for 4 years. I even checked to see if she had, and I don't have a precise records on this, but to see if she had maybe had a foal. But there were none sold at auction that were out of her. So she might have just been being a horse. Who knows? But at 6 years of age, having not run in recognized races at least, I mean, I guess she could have been overseas or somewhere else, but to work those 2 works in a row, I mean, that's fast. And she was she was a filly that certainly could compete at this level before. So watch the tote on her, watch the odds. I wouldn't be surprised if she went off at 10 to 1, 5 to 1, or 3 to 5, to be honest with you. It's a good sign, though, if she gets bet pretty hard. Race 4. 3 to 5-year-old maidens, 400 yards. Take out both of the also eligibles, the 11 and 12.
Yeah, I'm going with number 3, Fire the Politicians. This horse was in a $15,000 claiming race last time. Finished 5th in that one, only beaten by a length. We see this horse the race before that, maiden claiming race for 10. Ran a good 3rd in that one, missing by a neck. There was a next out winner in that one as well. Those were the two races that this horse has had this year after a 3-year layoff. So we've had two races back to back. Our top choices, or my top choices, have taken some time off. But I think this horse is getting back in the groove of things. We'll see what happens with Fire the Politicians. I got the 2, Indigo Arisen, as my second choice. Last time out, the race wasn't ideal for the horse at all. But 2 before that, 3rd by a neck, 2nd by half a length. I'll give a go with Indigo Arisen. And I got the 5, El Tada Moon, as my 3rd pick here. This horse had a pretty good race last time out, but that was the one good race out of 3 races for El Tada Moon. So either the horse can repeat it and could be the winner, or throws in the clunker. But kind of a coin flip, I think, on El Tada Moon.
I'm always a little skeptical in this sport and thoroughbreds of a horse that's consistently a long shot, meaning they're in tough or tougher than their abilities, and then they suddenly run a really nice race, and they come back, and all of a sudden now they're 8 to 5, like he is on the morning line. It's like you're putting a lot of faith in that one really good race at a big price.
Never been below 20 to 1 before.
Exactly. And now, I mean, they don't know what their odds are, but, I mean, this guy's had 2 subpar races and 1 good race. Putting a lot of faith in that 1 good race to take a short price on him. I mean, he still might run well. So I'm going to go, I almost took Fire the Politicians. I mean, I like his profile. And we might point out when he was here last, or when he was here way back, and in 22 he was with other trainers. He's only been with Rosa Ramirez this year, and she's gotten a couple of decent races out of him. But I'm going with the Wizard and I. Michael Joyner has started to heat up. He's chasing a milestone now, and this horse has been off 4 months, off a decent race at even money where he finished 3rd, close behind the winner for $15,000 at Ruidoso. He has a couple of races that are okay. As a 2-year-old last year, he was in an All-American trial and a Zia Futurity trial at Ruidoso. He didn't compete in those very well. I just think he might wake up in this spot. 5th race, Texas bred maiden fillies. They're 2 years of age. They're going 330 yards, and the morning line favorite is out. Number 9, Cliff Runner. Also scratched the 12, La Pequeña Shake.
Yeah, of course I was on Cliff Runner. I think most everybody was. But, hey, I'm not feeling too bad about scratching into my top choice. This Eagles Quirky, that's the number 7 horse here. Last time out, ran 8 of 9, beaten by 2 lengths. Let's get rid of that. Not the typical race for this Eagles Quirky. If you look at the ones before that, I mean, this horse has been running in maiden races, missed by a couple necks and a 2nd and 3rd place finish. Every time out, with the exception of that last race, the horse has improved.
Yeah.
The speed figures have gone up. This seems to be trying to figure things out. I think this Eagles Quirky could have a good run today. Matoli's Princess, the one, my second choice, has only had that 1 start, but it was a good one. Finished 3rd, missed by a length in that one right here over this track. Always look for that improvement for start 1 to start 2. So don't sleep on the 1. And then I got number 4, Miss Easter Deb, as my 3rd choice. Horses run back-to-back 4th place finishes. We'll see what happens when it's all said and done today, but I think this one has some ability to get up there and hit the board.
Yeah. This race was really thrown wild with Cliff Runner's crash because he had by far the best paper form, and he was 6 to 5 on the morning line, very low odds. When you take a 6 to 5 shot out, I mean, the second choice on the line was the 4, Ms. Easter Deb, at 9 to 2, 4.5 to 1. You take the favorite out of that. Now, it's anybody's guess. Perhaps Easter Deb or this Eagles Quirky might end up being the favorite. Even my pick, Matoli's Princess, who was originally the fourth choice on the morning line at 6-1, she gave herself a nightmare out of the gate last time. Just gave herself too much work to do. Just stood there, got out very slowly, and then closed really good ground. I mean, she was really moving late. But, you know, I hope that, I mean, it's only her first start, so I hope that was just chalk it up to debut blues, if you will, and it's not something we're going to see again tonight. And is noteworthy, she's by the thoroughbred champion Matoli, thoroughbred sprint champion trained by Steve Asmussen. It was interesting that really well-bred horse we had the other day, who's out of a great thoroughbred mare named Slammed, by Just Good Candy, she ran well.
She did run well.
You know, we're starting to wonder if those horses, either a good thoroughbred mare bred with a fast quarter horse stallion or vice versa, if they'd really work. Well, that horse the other day, Candy Slam, did. We'll see if this one does. Race 6. This is a really good field. Sixth race, fillies and mares, 3 and up, non-winners of a race other than maiden claiming, or non-winners of 2 lifetime. Scratch both of the also eligibles, the 11 and 12.
All right, give me number 8, Cowgirl Chick. You know, this horse has been in back-to-back allowance races, ran well in both of them. The last one out at the end of August at Delta Downs, you know, got up there within a head of the winner. Not bad there. It says gamely late. I like that comment there. Race before that, a solid second. This horse qualified and ran in the Old South Derby earlier this year.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot to like about Cowgirl Chick. I got the 10, the Return of the Cartel, as my second choice. Your top choice. And then I got number 5 here, Favorite Peach, as my third selection.
Yeah.
You know, I think this horse has a shot here. You know, has gone this distance, 330 yards one time. That was a win, or excuse me, gone 4 times, but has one win. That was last race out. Won that race by a length in the quarter, which came over our racing surface here. Beat a next out winner and Whistle Stops Eagle. That horse was pretty quick in that win out here. I think Favorite Peach, you know, if you're looking for a little different way to go, take a shot on the 5 here.
I think it's possible, and I don't have the kind of recall, especially with a 12-race card I used to have, but I think it's possible that since this went final, Political Oath, the third-place finisher in Favorite Peach's race, might have won also. We might look into that, but I have a Political Oath underlined.
Well, if so, that's a bigger check mark for the horse, I believe.
Yes. I loved Favorite Peach's last race. I mean, it was against maidens, and this is a good group of horses that have run decently against non-maidens, but I love Favorite Peach's race. I mean, I think she has a good shot, too. Our top picks are switched, but, I mean, they're both pretty similar. The Return of the Cartel, Cowgirl Chick, they're both 3-year-old fillies. The Return of the Cartel had a pretty major bump at the start last time. I mean, it was a pretty good body check. Ran a respectable 4th against a good field. Cowgirl Chick hasn't been out over this racetrack this season. She has been out over the track last year. But, you know, her last race at Delta was pretty good, and those always merit respect. And her numbers from her Delta races were fast. So those two should command most of the wagering attention. So our favorite Peach might have decent odds. Race 7. This is the high 5 race tonight. It's frequently our last race on the card, but not tonight with an Arabian race. The high 5 carryover up to $8,266. Scratch the 2 also eligibles, 11 and 12. The 7th race, filly and mare allowance, another good field, non-winners of 3.
Yeah, you know, I'm kind of looking. I saw your pick up here and kind of wonder why I didn't put Fine Wine Kisses, the 2, up there. But I don't know. Let's go through this again and see why.
Yeah.
Flying Little Sachet, the 10. Horse was a winner last time out, and the non-winners of 2. Not bad. You know, was in a stakes race before that at Ruidoso. Won a maiden trial out there. Flying Little Sachet, I mean, 2 wins out of the last 3 races. Horse has a win out here at Lone Star as well, along with a 3rd from 2 starts. So she likes our track out here. Horses by Flying Cowboy, 1, 2, 3, one of my favorite sires.
Yeah.
We'll see if Flying Little Sachet can't have a good run from the outside. I went with another Flying Cowboy 1-2-3 horse as my second pick. That is going to be the number 3 Dancing Cowgirl 5-6-7-8. This horse last time out ran out here on opening weekend, finished 6 of 8 in that race. Lost to Fine Wine Kisses, the horse I didn't put in my top 3 for some reason. But the races before that, all of this horse was up there within a length pretty much of all the past performances I see dating back to Remington last year. All of them coming in basically non-winners of 3 allowance races. So Dancing Cowgirl 5-6-7-8 can definitely compete with this field here, I believe. So I got the horse picked second. Then I got High on Sweet Luck, the 7, as my third choice. Ran into some trouble last time out. Let's draw a line through that one. 2 races before that. Both of them second-place finishes. Horse was also a runner in the Old South Derby as well. That's number 7, High on Sweet Luck. I got it 10, 3, and 7 in race 7.
I went with the morning line favorite, who is only slightly favored over Flying Little Sachet, who has a really nice win over the track. And one thing about Flying Sachet, since Juan Vasquez took over her training in June, she has won 2 of 3 for him. I don't know if that's that significant or not, but it's worth a note. Fine Wine Kisses I like just because she's very quick out of the gate. So is Flying Little Sachet. They're both high-speed fillies. We know Mark Youngers does an excellent job, wins a lot of races. Fine Wine Kisses likes these little bit shorter races, 3:30, and she's competed at this level pretty well. And she seems to like running against fillies. That's kind of been her bailiwick, whereas Flying Little Sachet has not restricted herself just to filly races a lot, and the ones that show up here. Close call. Darling Secret, who ran second to Fine Wine Kisses, ran a really good second last week. And one more note, I did look it up. In that previous race, I mentioned that Favorite Peach, that horse we picked third, had beaten a next out winner in Whistle Stops Eagle on the second night of the meet. Well, Political Oath did win this past Friday here, broke her maiden, or his maiden, and did it pretty convincingly. A half length, but as a favorite, as a heavy favorite. So Political Oath
Peach
would be in italics if the program went final one day later. On to the 8th and final. 6 furlongs, Arabians, Texas-bred Arabians, no scratches, and there's a field of 8.
Yeah, I took Rich Sand. That's the number 5 horse here, 3-5 on the morning line. This horse has been out to the races 3 different times so far in his career. The first one was a 4th-place finish back at Sam Houston, the debut. Then coming after that at Retama on August the 15th, the horse ran a good second. Came close to picking up the win last time out at the 6 furlong distance right here on opening weekend. Just missed by a nose in that one, so pretty close. Those horses were dueling down the lane. It was pretty exciting to watch these Arabians duel down the lane. And then I got number 8, WMA Getaway, as my second choice here. Horses finished third in 3 out of the last 4 races. And then I got the 4 Burning Jewels, 20-1 on the line, as my third choice here. This horse has an on-the-board finish at Retama Park. Was in a stakes race there earlier this year. We'll see what happens. 5, 8, and 4 here for the finale.
Yeah, Burning Jewel's record is not a lot to write home about, but does pop up occasionally and hit the board. And I've got her 4th. You've got her 3rd at 20-1. That might be somebody to look at in your horizontal wagers. Rich Sand, she got a weird trip last time. It sounds weird to say a filly that rushes to the lead and opens up an early lead ends up with a weird trip. But she was hard used early, opened up a huge lead, and just lost by a zop. I remember that RS Forteza came running late, and they were over 9 lengths clear of the 3rd-place horse. I think Rich Sand is the best one in this race, like she was last time, and maybe he needs to just kind of settle down a little and just rate himself a little bit better, because he kind of used himself up, I think, a little early last time. That's the only thing. He made a really early bid last time. And then we've got the same horses otherwise. I think WMA Kisses, number 3, is interesting only because of the blinker change, and blinkers on today. But there isn't a lot to endorse behind the favorite here, but we'll see. Like we said, we're starting and ending with Arabian races with what should be odds-on favorites. So that's always pretty interesting because it's not unusual to see heavy favorites in Arabians, but we've seen them get beat.
And we've seen them get beat, and when they do, it rewards the bettors handsomely if you got the right one.
Any horse can be beaten. Just ask Secretariat.
That's why we run the races,
one of the greatest.
right?
Yes. Ask Secretariat about that. All right. Rodney will be down here in the paddock. Got a nice week of racing coming up. 6:05 starts tomorrow and Saturday. If you got friends going to Texas OU, tell them to come on. I've got a couple friends coming out tomorrow night that are in town for the game. But if be a good weekend to get out and do something. I know that game might be a little draining. Temperature and, it's an afternoon game, and you can come out afterward.
Yeah, come on out after.
Relax.
Until you fall asleep anyway.
Exactly. Post time in 35 minutes for the first. Thanks for looking in, and good luck tonight.
In the event of an emergency, Lone Star Park is dedicated to ensuring the safety of our patrons. This video